Okay, let's do this. So these are my official pharmacist chop, which means I'm now officially a fully registered pharmacist. Anyway, so looking back at the past 1 year, I realized that I have experienced a lot of changes in how I think about a mistake. I was a beginner in such a established and a very professional driven area, which is the healthcare. I think to mark my first YouTube video and also to commemorate this very historical moment for myself, I want to share about how to become a good beginner. Whether you like it or not, in your life, you will definitely experience the beginner stage. As for myself, the housemanship period is really where I truly learn about how to be a good beginner. And that mind shift is so important because I guess it has a lot to do with how I improve afterwards and then eventually come to fall in love with this career, I suppose. So let's dive right in. The first one that I would like to share on how to become a good beginner is making better mistakes. And I know that making mistakes can be a very embarrassing and painful mistake experience, especially in front of your co-workers that you really look up to. But what I've come to learn is that actually people don't care about your mistakes. They don't care as much as you think they are. So this is known as the halo effect, right? In fact, everyone is just like you. All they think and all they care about is themselves, or rather how other people perceive them, how other people think about their performance and their mistakes. After learning this, I really embrace it and I find it liberating. Just accept your mistake with an open heart and move on. Learn it with a great deal of humility. If possible, do not commit the same mistake twice. But if you do, just try to dissect what goes wrong. Is there a knowledge gap that you haven't identified or you haven't filled in? You have a problem of procrastination. You try to escape some responsibility, or you try to blame it on somebody else when all the while you should take accountability. You should be accountable for your mistakes. To make better mistakes is to cultivate a higher self-awareness, and how you can do that is to always reflect on yourself and your actions without dwelling on them. So this is easier to be said than done, but just remember that try to instill some objectivity when you are examining your own mistakes and performance. See it as a lesson rather than a personal flaw. You cannot be scared of making mistakes, because if you are scared of making mistakes, you will try to avoid doing anything that is risky or anything that you don't think you are good at. And how can you improve if you don't try new things or making mistakes? Try to get comfortable with that. As a beginner, you really need all the help you can get, but you don't want to come across as needy to your co-workers or your seniors. You want to show them that you are an independent problem solver. There are two important things when asking help from your co-workers. The first one is play your part. Second one is clarity. You need to make sure you really exhausted all the solutions that you yourself can get before asking for help. And then despite your very best effort, you still fail, then I'm sure people will be willing to help you. And just remember that you are not entitled to other people's assistance. And when people come to help you, it is often at the cost of their time, and they often need to put off something that they are doing to help you. So the least you can do to respect their time and effort is to at least put in the effort yourself in the first place. So what I mean by clarity is when you ask for help, ask it clearly, articulate clearly how you want them to help you, and be as specific as possible. What do you think about my session with the patient just now? Or what else that do you think I could say to make my point clearer or to explain this medication better to the patient? Do you think that I have used too much professional phrases or jargon when I explain the medication to the patient? There's something that you can do to improve faster and to progress faster. So honestly, I'm still in a very early stage of my career and I don't feel qualified enough to talk about progressing your career faster. But I certainly have first-hand experience on how to improve very fast and to learn new things while on the job. So here are some quick tips that I feel that a beginner can use to at least improve faster and then to feel like less dumb than you were yesterday. Learning about other people's mistake is an effective and also less painful way to improve yourself. Listen attentively when people talking about their mistakes and reflect on them. Remember to not repeat their mistakes when you are doing the task. Here's an important catch. You learn about other people's mistake from a humble place. You don't want to come across as judgy or arrogant to them. And in fact, you should be grateful that their mistakes shed light on something that you didn't know previously. Second thing, find a role model among your peers and emulate them secretly. The key word here is among your peers. See how they respond whenever they are trapped in a difficult situation. Observe how they solve a problem, observe how they handle failure, how they thrive in a social situation. Personally, I do have my own secret role model among my peers, and whenever I find myself in a tricky or difficult situation, I will ask myself, what would this person do? And that really prompted me to rethink my response and action plan. The reason that you should pick a role model at the beginner level is that they can still give you the beginner perspective but better. So you can really see yourself realistically how you can improve from A to B, as opposed to looking up to someone who is super pro, some expert who, although is very good at what they are doing, but in terms of context and also environment and resources available to them are so far different from your current position. And this person actually doesn't necessarily have to be from work. It can be from anyone that you know, or even someone on the internet. I know that being a beginner can be very frustrating and it is not necessarily a very pleasant position to be in. But I would say instead of fight it or try to skip over this stage of life, we all should embrace it. Being a beginner reminds you about what it's like to be alive, that exciting and also anxious feeling when you are still learning something very new. I mean, what is life if you don't have something to fight for, to improve on? And honestly, now that I am a fully registered pharmacist and looking back the past 1 year of my journey of doing my pharmacist housemanship, it is certainly a huge confidence booster for myself, because I feel that if I can do something so hard, I can literally do anything in the world. Okay, I mean, that is a very exaggerating statement because I'm sure there are definitely way more harder things out there than becoming a pharmacist. But I mean, you need to challenge yourself from time to time to prove to yourself that you have what it takes to become better. One of the best challenges that you can give to yourself in life is to thrive, to becoming better at being a beginner. You are only a beginner once, so make the best out of it. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you hopefully in the next video. I don't know. Bye.